And I was having funny conversations the other day with Mena, with my friend Menequin on 4, in which I expressed my concern over the future of squash. Is one of my favorite recreational activities. When I have access to a court, I try to go play this is very gentlemanly game. It's slower paced, takes more strategy than something like racquetball, which is too fast and brutish for my tastes. But I like squash very much, and I was worried because now you see all these articles, hiking is problematic because it's too white. So we have to fill the hiking trails with non-whites, and in particular what they mean is with blacks. Even if blacks have no special enjoyment of that activity, we have to force them to do it. Now, I don't think that blacks will go on hiking trails even if New York Times writes 100 articles encouraging them to do it. But I was worried that maybe they would be forced on squash courts and this type of thing. And that would ruin the game of squash, because if you've ever played this, you will note that there is very frequent interference from your opponents, and you have to call that. For example, they hit the ball, it hits the wall, it's your turn, but they do something to get in your way, so you can call interference of some kind, or they use the racket the wrong way. They swing it out too far, and it almost hit you in the head, so you have the right then to stop the game. So you got in my way and this. And so this kind of gentlemanly sportsmanship is very integral to squash. In more than other games. Of course, you watch soccer on TV, it's horrible. The players throw themselves on the ground. But in squash, it would not be workable without these types of judgment calls that the two opponents can agree on. And this is what I was worried about, this judgment call, right? The judgment call. You cannot do this with a black opponent, generally. So I was worried this would ruin the game of squash. And Menaquinon assured me, however, he say, I hope I'm not being indiscreet here. He's not a racist like I am, but he just speak the truth. He speak fact. He say, Bep, maybe you don't live in America for a while. You don't realize that the black community is not exactly what the American media, state media, which is all American media now, almost the state media, it shows them to be athletic and interested in athletic exercises and working out. But reality is quite the opposite, because within America right now, the ethos spread by the state and the media is that you should not go to gym, you should not work out. And the black community is one of the most, if not the most conformist one. They just do whatever the state tells them to do when it comes to these cultural things. They follow trends slavishly. And so they have followed the trend toward static lifestyle, bad diet, and no exercise of any kind, no gym. They followed this even more than others, so they have been beset by obesity much more than other groups. Of course, when you go to gym in America, you will find one or two very ripped black guys who they have continued their sports career from college or high school or whatever, and they just continued that. So there are exceptions, but as a whole, the black community has been destroyed more than others. Their physical being has been destroyed more than others by the new ethos of the American state media culture and so forth. I wish Tariq Nasheed would maybe focus on this, the destruction of the black body by obesity. Maybe that should be his primary concern.